In the Bad West, there is the famous great machine at Edward Station. It's not fair, he complained. I think that's wrong because of the diesel engine, the big controller, and all the engines, laughed Edward. I know you are too, fat controller. Look at me. Can you help me drive? The trucks are big, heavy, and noisy. The porters worked all night. At last, they reached the top of the mountain. Until we meet again, Annis whistled slowly as he walked down the hall and to the second row. The duck slides like a mountain and glides easily in the wind. Suddenly, a siren sounds. Be careful. Oh, oh! Torak laughed out loud. We are divided! We are divided! Throw him out! Hit him, you idiot! They shouted. Hurry up, Duck! Hurry up, said the driver. Edward drives through the station, but is hit by a train. They took us bit by bit as they got the chance. Drivers run the government. We left after traveling a kilometer. How much? Look at it! James had left the station earlier. Disaster could happen at any time. There you are, Duck, said the coachman. The book lies to the shock of the buyer. The idiot shook the car, honked, and sped away. But don't worry about the pain. They are all right. I'm sorry, Professor, Duck sighed. I am sorry to trouble you, replied the barber. No, it is not so. You will scare my customers. I will say, wash the duck's whole face in soap. I love ducks. I don't want to drive my car into the wall, said the hairdresser angrily. We appreciate your offer, but know that this car and crew have prevented a serious accident. It's about to start, said the fat driver. Yes, Barbara explained. I'm really sorry. He filled the basin with water and washed the face of the duck. I'm really sorry. I didn't know you were a hero. I got it. Or I don't know. You're very strong, said the fat handler. I won against you. Then the messenger arrived. Shower, change clothes, and go home. Doctor, are you home? Transparent. But sir, they don't like me. They like Diesel. Not now. I don't trust children at all. That's why I sent them. Car, sorry. Trust me. Go. A few days later, when he returned home, he was warmly welcomed by a Western duck. Thomas and Percy enjoyed working on the docks. They loved the sea air and the sound of birds. But one day, my friends get scared and worried. Plumbing is the problem. His name is Wim, and today is his first day in the chair. Storms aren't that bad, he shouted from above. If you put your car on a local line, you don't have to go far. I love you, Thomas said. Not one crane complained. Okay, now I'm going to complain, and Jim muttered near the keys. Later, the two engineers meet Gordon and Jacob and talk about the disease. Grant is a great jumper who deserves a lot of attention, and so do I, Gordon said. You have to look at things from Grabby's perspective, Jacob said. He is in heaven and has to deal with the wind, the rain, and the sun. Then he looked down and saw two broken machines. No wonder he calls you trash. When Cranky heard that the big machine agreed with him, he gained more control. Push the things that take me away. But Percy was too angry to think, and she called the porters. Poor Percy. Then the angry man threw Thomas. Installation will be easy. Thomas does so. But Clinky leaves his luggage next to his car. You need to know that I can't lay a hand on you, the villain complained. This is confusing and slow. Sir Topham Hatt was very sad. Thomas and Percy, this new crane is amazing. I heard it didn't help today. Get out there and think about how you can do better tomorrow. Thomas and Percy were also hurt. That night, a big storm hit the island. There was an unusual and large locomotive parked in the port. I'm sure we're safe within these walls, said the rat. But I was wrong. Little did the engineers know that their old ship would land them in big trouble. He couldn't bear it anymore and ran straight to the castle. Help! An engine roared in the hangar. I cannot. His name is funny. When the storm subsided, Sir Topham rushed to the crash site and called Cranky. Thomas and Percy will help you, and then you can help with the engine. Oh, hurry up, Cranky called, and tell them I'm sorry for hurting them. It's you, Sir Topham Hatt whispered. I owe the engineers an apology. Thomas and Percy soon arrived. Please come and help. It didn't take long for Cranky to wake up and wreak havoc. Lastly, all cars are free. Okay, thank you, Gordon said. What would I do without you? Well, I have to save myself to help you. But I didn't know there were two idiots. Someone says they're wrong, and then quickly corrects them. Little engine, thank you so much. I won't harm you anymore. But you're my pet, so leave me alone! What? Shouted Percy. Don't move! I'm feeling sick! But it was too late. The Grants were watching all the little cars. Among the mountains of the island of Sodor is a mysterious stone. He was alone for a long time. One day the workers came to build the soil. Rusty Diesel meets Thomas and Percy. Where did these stones come from? Perseus asked. New career, Rusty replied. This stone is superficially dangerous, but it has many uses. Why? Thomas asked. Because it's a big rock. I think I'll take a look, said Rusty nervously. Well, Percy, that's interesting. Edward soon arrived. They brought new equipment as loot. What's new? Scabra asked. It's called Thumper. It helps you collect the stones faster, Edward replied. Soon Samp got to work. The men were happy, but no one bothered to look at the stones. Work was interrupted due to rain. He looks at the rust and trembles. Stones are lying on it. Suddenly, a large stone fell on the road and rusted. Melias was worried. "We better go to Serenity, Serenity. The rain has softened the rocks." "I think we want to go to Boulder." The next day was sunny, and the tamper worked normally. Just something. "Take a rock." "Don't be silly, you can't," says the driver. "But you can." "We're going there!" "We will stay here until we pass the stone," says the driver. But Boulder never materialized. Then he said, "Oh, it's not behind us." And when they went a little further, they saw a small cross, a line going up from the mountain. They put a stone on the ground. At this point, Skarloey headed towards the distribution area. Then he saw a stone. "Help!" He quickly takes the stone. "We'll warn them about the wheels," shouted Skarloey. "How are you then?" Rusty said. The rock turned the corner and stood in front of Rania. "He is!" He called Rani, and the driver quickly brought him back. "Just!" "Confusion is better than pumpkin," the driver nodded. At the warehouse, Percy sets up the trucks. Then he heard Bolin's voice. "Hey, come with me!" Marcus yelled. When Topham Hut's owner observed the damage, he decided to keep quiet. Then he looked at the Buddha. "This part of the island shall be left alone." Then the stone was moved and placed on a hill near the village. He, of course, gazed contentedly, proudly, and silently at the mountain in the rusty, bright night, bearing the majesty of the wind. I think Rustibi. This is true? Garden Island was sparkling. All engines were running smoothly. Gordon was smiling happily. "Hey Thomas, I'm fine. Do you know why?" He went to a government meeting. But the sign ordered the farmer to go across the road. And in anger, a shot was fired. "Who's here?" When Gordon got into the car, he immediately noticed the sound of the engine. "That's right." "Who are you?" "This is Spencer. He's the fastest rider in the world." Spencer said, and left. I'm trying to help. Spencer showed the Duke and Duchess a lot of looks, but didn't hold water. While Gordon and Thomas pick up the guests, Spencer joins the Don't Forget Water crew. But this... You're going to be in trouble, he said. Thomas sighed, as did Spencer. The mountain garden has run out of water. Why didn't he ask? Spencer took a deep breath. Mr. Topham saw right away that I had to fire Gordon. When Gordon arrived, the manager was waiting. Spencer wants a stop. He climbed the hill. Hurry up, Gordon, said the driver. Gordon wants to see Spencer. Is it in the water? He was angry. Okay, baby, the ship isn't there, Spencer complained. They all waited for Gordon Spencer to get into the truck and join them. Then they left. I'm not joking about the next line coming up. Look, you're on your period, said Gordon. Spencer raised an eyebrow. Spencer, what do you think? A lot of wind and a lot of steam. Man yoya, Grandfather Topham Hat. Hurry to Sodor. I got it. Gordon took a deep breath.